dials the sound levels and all that good stuff. Brand new mic, testing things out. And try not to run the side of a mountain. Mic check 1, 2, hello. Hello. Okay, it's quiet. We'll try that. Yeah, mic was a little low and the sound volume was way too high. But I was busy watching EW's stream and not paying attention, and, well, as you see, I almost ran into the side of an island. Look, currently what I'm doing is I am heading up to this little port right here to deliver some fish. Because playing this game, it's a lot like it's a lot like Call of the Wild. You gotta grind for money. You've also got to grind for certificates to be able to drive the bigger ships. And the ships are not cheap. I think my next ship is $450,000. Yeah, this trip originally, I've been working on it off and on since last night. It's 7 nautical miles. So, it's a nice long haul. But the weather's nice. I don't have a lot of chop. No rain right now. Sonar, there's a little bit of stuff floating around underneath me. Weather-wise, they're calling for more rain. More rain. Yeah. Pretty much it rains almost every day in this game. My only turnoff is if you get motion sickness playing first-person shooters or racing games that have a lot of bobbing and moving of your head. Playing this game in rough seas, you might have that slight issue. But other than that, it's not too bad. When you're actually doing your you're actually doing your fishing, at first it's a mini game. And as soon as I get this dropped off, I'll swing back, bait up some hooks, and I'll show you the fishing. Because what you're going to start off is you're a long line fisher, which means you drop a buoy into the water, attached to a long piece of rope or cord, and there's small hooks every so many feet, meters, depending on where you're from. And then the fish get on the hook, and they're kind of stuck there. And then you've got to take a gaff, which is a pole with a hook on it, and pull them fish out, put them in a catch bin, and then after you've done that, then you get the opportunity to get the fish, which is another little mini game of all on its own. But once I get it back into a bigger port, I can also show you all the ships and some of the classifications. I know people like to play like to watch the show Deadliest Catch. Well, this game's got some pretty nice little crab boats. Mainly has 2 boats that are built for crabbing. One of them small, like a little Sig Hansen's style boat. It's got the V-shaped front end. And then the other one is more of what your standard crab boat is. But even while you're driving around, you can set your gear by yourself. If you just want to put your boat on autopilot and kind of toss the gear out. You can also set it in the general direction and pick your gear up. You can also drive the boat from right here. Or use our gut table, which we have no fish to gut. Yeah, I can steer the ship from back here. Which in third person looks kind of funny. I'm not going to run on the side of the island again. If you look in the top left corner, you've got your time of day, which is a whole lot faster than real time. Below that is your calendar. Right below that is your cash. Just to the right of it is your speed, how much fuel you have, and then your ship's hull. And you can run out of gas in here. You can also run into another ship and wreck. Which I've scrolled over the little microphone thing, which is call for help. It means the Coast Guard comes and gets you, and if you ran out of gas, they'll tow your ship to the nearest port. If you've wrecked your ship and you don't have insurance on it, then it's kind of a restart. But if you've got insurance on it, then you'll get X amount of cash for how much your insurance is to be able to purchase another ship. We've also got a nice little horn. But if you played any farm simulator, the horns don't cause the ships to move just like they don't cause the cars to move. We've got our running lights, so when it's getting dark, ships can see you. But this ship only has one running light in the back. It's got a searchlight up front. You can go in the cab. We'll slow down real quick. And you can actually manually adjust your spotlight, which during the day, you can't really see it. I'll bring it back across the bow of the boat. But right there on the tip of the bow, you can see it. We've got a little cabin down here where you can sit and warm up. Use your hammer to fix the ship if you can. Never leave the fire running when you're not near it. Fire hazard. You got your work light. So while you're working on the back of the boat, you can see what you're doing. And we've got our interior lights, which most of the time in any of the Deadliest Catch shows or whatever, they really don't have their interior lights. You've also got some of the stuff from your HUD outside in here. We've got how much cargo we've got. We can adjust the lights. We'll start turning them off. You've got your GPS, or you got your dip finder. We have a fuel gauge, an RPM gauge. You've got your compass, your throttle controls, your logbook, and your hey, get out of my way horn. We also have binoculars. They're good for finding other ships out there, but really besides that, they're not good for much of anything else. Unless you're looking for maybe one of your pods. Or one of your drag lines. Sorry about the mic. slowing down. Because this is water, it's not like you are driving on land. The motion of the ocean plus you actually moving your ship causes you to keep going forward. Right now I'm going to try to set up a waypoint. Sometimes it lets you, sometimes it don't. To take my ship back to, or my boat back to home plate. Oh, come on. All the dark water that's not blue is areas that I have not discovered yet. You can discover them by pretty much driving over the top of it. The bigger the boat you have with the better the radar, the more you'll be able to spot. But there are 7 ports in this game. And only this Hammerfall port is the actual port where you can buy new ships. You can upgrade your ships and buy new ships only at this port. The other ports, you get gas, get more hooks, pick up jobs at the local bar, because that seems to be where they want you to actually look for work. Let's see, cod. It is not cod season. No catching, no cod. Haddock, pollock, redfish. You fish all year long pretty much. Then you got your king crab, which without crab pots, it's kind of a no-no because you can't do it. We'll pull up here and a nice little port, grab some hooks, show off some of the other boats. If you buy this game on console, you will get what's called the Complete Edition. I think it's $30 or $40 in the PlayStation Store. And it comes with all the DLCs. So once you pay for the game, you don't have to pay for anything else unless they decide to possibly bring something out. I'm going to go ahead and top my fuel back off. Not really worried about the repairs right this second. Upgrades. This is important. Storage. How much you could haul. I've already ran out of space where I had to actually throw fish back over the side because I did not have enough. I can upgrade my engines, but due to the fact that this is your starter boat, you really don't want to waste all this money doing a whole lot of upgrades. Horsepower is going to allow your boat to A, go faster, unloaded, and when you really get a boat loaded down, the more horsepower you have, you'll be able to go faster because the heavier the load, the longer it takes you to go anywhere. So if a boat usually goes at 9 knots an hour, you get a load on it, you could be down to 3 knots an hour. Yeah, sure, that's right. Like I was talking about the radar. You can upgrade your radar, which means your ship puts out a bigger circumference around you to be able to see more fish in the sea and unlock more areas. This small boat, upgrading the radar really isn't a big upgrade. You're only going to get maybe another 100 feet. Your quotas. If you like using a ship and you're filling your quotas up fast, you come back here and upgrade your quotas. But each quota upgrade, I can't go from 1 to 3 or from 0 to 3. I have to go 1, 2, 3. So you're looking at 1.9 mil to fully upgrade. Your searchlights gives you a better sighting with your light as you're searching. The mask is just an aesthetic. This is your starter boat. It's $10,000, 24 feet long, weighs 2,500 pounds. You're by yourself. That's what that max additional crew holds. 150 liters of gas, 110,000 pounds in quota. Horsepower on the boat's kind of small, 15, only does 7 knots. I've got it going a little faster. Requires a certificate of amateur. Not really that big of a deal. What also to look at is your max lines and your max lengths. So if you've got 4 max lines at 1,000 hooks each, you'll be able to fill your boat up very, very fast. The next one, this is more something you'd see down in Florida, or possibly off the Carolina coast. From what I've seen from other guys and looked up, it's a good boat for playing around with, but it's not a great fishing boat to just get out there and have some fun. Toby's a little better. It's expensive. You're still out there by yourself. Quota's a little bigger. Moves a little faster. You can get bigger, more horsepower in it. Quotas aren't bad. You could have 8 hooks or 8 lines with 2,000 hooks per line. So you'll be able to fill your boats up pretty quick. And your quotas are on the right-hand side of the screen, where it says cod, haddock, pollock, and redfish. Like I said, you could upgrade those and pretty much fish all year long in a certain boat. Or if you maxed out your Bjorg, you could always go jump on the Toby if you have it. Now here's where you're starting to get into your crew boats. It's a little on the expensive side. 1.25 mil. But you get your people. So you could actually have one person doing the catching and one person getting the fish. And all you've got to do is drive the boat. The Jarkin, Snarkin, it's another really good boat. I think this will probably be the boat that I go to after that, or the Selfie. Because of one, the quota is 400,000. The price is 450,000, which still isn't really bad at all. It's your next license up, so it's a pretty good boat. Selfie is same thing, but you could actually king crab with the Selfie. So if you want to do some king crabbing, you get you some pots. They'll be small pots, the little round pots that some of the amateur Alaskan fishers use. But you'll be able to put some pots on here. You'll be able to drag net lines. So instead of actually having to use a gaff and hook the fish and bring them in, you'll just be using a net. Sharky's another not bad boat. You can long line with it, and you can net with it. And it's 690,000 with a crew of 2. This is more one of them small little Great Lake boats that like to stay up close to shorelines. You're by yourself. so there's no help from many crew members. It's fairly expensive, kind of slow, but it's got a good quota. And it's got a big fuel tank. Here's where you're starting to get into your bigger crews. You got 5 on this one. You're going to pay $2 mil for the boat. You'll probably pay another 3 or 4 mil just in completely upgrading it. But now you're getting into the 20 long lines, 10,000 hooks, and 20 of the larger nets. This is your crab only boat. Holds 54 pots. It's a senior class certification. She moves kind of slow. The 80,000 quota per year, you can actually go out and buy more quota, which isn't a bad thing. But from what I've seen and read, with your 54 pots and your 8 crew members, you could go out on this boat and fill your boat up and max your quota out in 1 to 2 trips. This boat is also only used during crab season, which is only 2 months. So it's one of those get in, get out, make a lot of money, and get it done. This boat's $4,490,000. It's probably going to be close to $7 million when you get it completely maxed out, but you will be bringing in, depending on how good your crew is and where you set your pots, you could be bringing in $10 to $15 million, which, to put it simply, means you just paid your boat off in 1 trip. There's another one of the small boats. They're just mainly net boats and hooks. To me, it looks like it's half a boat, maybe quarter boat. And the Moby D. It's one of the older boats. It has a large quota. It has a 5-man crew. Some of these boats actually have a upgrade on them where it has an auto cutting bait station, or auto gutting bait station. So you put a crew member on it, they just put the fish in, it automatically guts the fish. You get 4 stars every time. Which, I've been playing this game for a couple days, and I have issues getting 3 stars, let alone 4. This is a trawler. Very expensive trawler. But this is your mackerel and your paddock, or pollock. It's going to be dragged. It's pretty much a bottom dragger. You're going to be dragging along, picking up mackerel, which people are going to turn around and use for bait. Some people eat it. But to me personally, it's mainly a bait fish. And it's got a 7-man crew. And the last ship is the Hermes. $20 million. 7-man crew. 10 million quota. Has a 500,000 liter fuel tank. Now, I've heard and read that some of these ships will burn through fuel extremely fast. And with this being another dredger, or trawler, the game mechanic is a whole lot different. Like I said, each time you go to collect your fish, or crabs, or whatever you're picking up, you got a little mini game. When you're trawling and just dragging nets along, You're watching instrument panels the whole time while your crew's doing the work. There's your crew hiring, where you can hire guys. I'm on a crew of 1. So no matter how bad George looks, and I really like to work with George, I can't. Because I don't have a big enough boat for George. Loans. Everybody's always worried about money. The money you can borrow from the bank is based on, or how much money you borrow from the bank is based on how much money you currently have. So if I had $1 million, the amounts I'd be able to borrow from the bank are a whole lot more than what I have. Right now it looks like it's almost double, possibly triple, what I currently have. I'm not taking a loan out. Here's your job board. Wants me to go out and catch some redfish, bring it out to the cruise ship. I think I'm gonna do it. Redfish are fairly easy to catch, but you gotta go to the bar to get jobs. There's the insurance I was talking about. They'll rescue your crew, and then they're gonna charge you for a tow. If you pay the $10,000 a year, they'll tow you for free to the closest port, but it's going to cost you 10 grand a year. Fish prices. I need to go catch redfish. They're actually not too bad. So here's where you're going to buy your hooks, especially for this little boat. You start off with 250 hook lines. I've sold those, but 2 of the 500s went back out, made enough money to come back to buy 2 more. I currently can't buy no more. This is a 4-line max boat, but I can sell those and buy the 1,000 hook lines for $40,000 per line a piece. I have 1 unbaited. Okay. I need redfish. So I need to go back, get rid of these mackerel lines. So I can do 2. Okay. I'm going to be heading out with 2 500 lines. Let's take a look at the map. We're going for redfish. We're not going to be going far because I'm going to go over here and fish. Go back in town while they soak. The lines soak. And then I'm going to try to catch up with the Queen Victoria. If my suspicions are right, she's going to be all the way to the bottom left-hand corner of the map, which means no fast travel. So I'm going to set my waypoints. Watch out for these idiot AI boats, because they will run into you, they'll block you from going anywhere. Set my waypoint. You can skip time, which I'm going to show after I get my hooks out in the water. Now I'm going to crank the little girl up and get her away from the dock. You can fast travel as long as you're outside this purple square, or rectangle. As soon as you're outside the rectangle, and there's no other ships in your way, boats or anything else, should be able to say see you later, goodbye. Now I'm going to start setting hooks. Good part is, it's autopilot. I've got it over here. You've got one where your arrow is facing the left. That is your pickup gear. The drop gear is the arrow facing down. I hit X, the boat will speed up, and drop it. Technically, I could jump out, go into first person, put the boat in gear, and toss it all out myself, if I really wanted to. We've got kind of rain going on. I'm going to turn a little bit of lights on so I don't get run into. Set your next line. You have to be at least 50 meters from that buoy. And in my mind, what I think is 50 meters really isn't. So you just kind of spread them out. Top right hand corner is my kind of mini map. Right now they're red. My buoys are red. It's going to show me exactly where I put the buoys, even up on the big map. As long as the lines are red, you don't want to pick them up. If they're yellow, you don't want to pick them up. If they're blue, which is the best time to pick them up, you come and get them. If they're green, you're still going to be okay because you're still going to be able to make money off them. If they go to yellow, you've got a 50-50 chance of losing fish. If they go back to red, you're going to lose your entire catch. Possibly the lines themselves. So we dropped them lines at 7 o'clock. I'm now going to try to squeak by these guys and head back into town, while keeping an eye on my clock. So I got back here at almost 10 o'clock. So I'm looking at almost 3 hours of travel time. Good thing is I pulled right up to the dock. I'm going to park the boat. You want at least a 15-hour soak on these smaller lines. Some of them are up to 24 hours. Some are a little less, a little more. So I'm going to go about 10 hours. That gives me travel time so I can get back out here. Why are you still showing red? Don't tell me I lost my load. That's not going to be good. It's kind of like aiming up that diamond and Call the Wild. You think you got the right gun, you think you got the right ammo, and think everything's right, it's max level, and sometimes that just turns into a fail. They went orange. So I'm gonna creep up here, get up next to my lines. While I'm doing that, I can sit out and hang out and talk to you guys. Because I'm waiting for them to turn green or blue. I might have got out here a little too early. Instead of a 15-hour soak, it might be an 18-hour soak. Put her in reverse. Ship. Turn it off, don't need to waste gas when you're not going nowhere. But as you see, there is, close the door. There's my buoy right there. What they're going to do, like they do on Deadliest Catch, is throw a hook out, wrap it around the line, pull it in. You use the winch to winch it in, and they're going to slide it, the buoy bag, out of the way, and then they're going to take their line and move it where you're not stepping on it. Most deadliest thing on a ship or boat is, when you're fishing, is stepping on the line and possibly getting dragged back over or getting crushed by other objects on the boat. I have no fish to gut. I have no line to set. Just have time to burn. Pull my binoculars out. Look around, see if I see anything. You could actually upgrade your binoculars to the max one is a periscope. So it's like a folding telescope. So you could sit out here and look like a pirate using your periscope. What's up, Mr. Foley? Aren't you supposed to be in class? That is great, Shred. You picked this up? And we could have some fishing stories together. Do a little party chat, compare some notes. Possibly have some fun with it. Like I said, this game is it's a slow go at start. But from what I've watched from some other streamers out there, that once you get the money rolling in, you could be the next Sig Hansen. You could be one of the biggest guys out there. And eventually, if you buy all the ships, then you're never going to be bored, because you'll be able to take one ship out, you'll fishing with it, max its quota out, go jump on the next one. Just keep bouncing around. There's some guys out there that have been playing the game for actually 2 years before we got it on console. They've been playing since beta. And they have said that they have spent in-game, with the in-game calendar and stuff, weeks, days, years. One guy said he has been playing 4 years in-game time. That's some dedication. That's some willingness to work at it. And like the old saying goes, it's called fishing, not catching. If this was just a catch a game, it'd be over with. Oh, Shred, you picking on Foley? I'll say I've been running for about 40 minutes now. Yeah, it's potato internet. Gotta put your cords into the potato just a little bit farther. And there's the rain and seagulls. I've heard at certain times during the night that you could actually see the aurora borealis, which means the northern lights out here. I've seen videos of guys seeing whales. I've actually seen two of the boats run into each other, and both of them having to call the Coast Guard and get towed back in. We've also got lighthouses. That's what that blinking light is off there, right in the middle of the screen. We'll have fun with the family, Mr. Foley. Catch you on later tonight. Still sitting in the orange. How long my line's been in the water? With my line info, they've been in the there's 16 hours. Looks like I've got some redfish and maybe some pollock up coming through. Oh, we go green, which means we can start hauling lines. I'll haul them now because waiting another hour or two for things to happen just doesn't make a good stream. So here's the mini game for hauling your fish in. You get a dead center of the circle, you get it perfect. The percentages, from what I assume, are the greater increase on your catch. The orange, okay, doesn't increase anything. The green, good, is an easy 3%. Perfect are automatically 5%. If you miss, and I've done it quite a few times, your percentage goes back down to 0 and you gotta work your way back up. I've caught my quota. I'm gonna go over here and turn my interior light, or my work lights back on, so I can see to get the fish. Grab your cutting board. As you see, I've got a knife in my right hand. You can upgrade these knives, which will make the cutting a lot easier. But you're going from X to X, following the line. Hold the X button down, and try all the way to follow the line. Sometimes you do good, sometimes you do bad. But if you get an absolute no stars or 1 star, you hurt your catch. 5 stars is a percentage for a better catch. Also increases the price of what you're going to get for them. I'll put it in gear. I tried to do this in cab. Turn my searchlight on, turn my running lights on. Oh yeah. Arthur. Me and you both know Arthur. Not personally, but we know him. And when the game first came out, and he was beta testing it, the mouse was almost impossible to use, which means the controller would be completely impossible. But this company, from what I understand, has taken so much feedback. It's so willing to help their community and build their game. And, you know, they'd rather put out the best quality game that they can put out than, well, here's fishing on the Barents Sea 1 and 2 will be out in 2 weeks. Just trying to rush out product. We got rolling seas. It's gonna be fun for getting the fish. Rear the boat in. There we go. Alright, come on, come on. Give me what I want. No, 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 no. It's all these fish. And the 1 to 9 will increase as you're going along. If you get that perfect 18, 20 hour marker on bringing your fish in, or coming out here to catch them, instead of 1 to 9 or 1 to 7, you might actually creep up there to like 1 to 15. And if you get that perfect every single time, you can fill your boat up with one line. Right now I've got a 20% increase on everything that I'm bringing in. I'll take 23%. It's not bad. I actually pulled in 9 fish and it gave me 55. Not bad. I will say this though. If you're gonna get your fish, get your butt out of the driver's seat and come over here and do it like this. Actually go out and do it. Because if you do it from the driver's seat, the camera angles sometimes are atrocious. Almost impossible to cut a straight line. Almost impossible sometimes to see the line. Also, you actually want to catch your fish because you get a better price for them than bringing in a whole fish, guts and all. Watch out for the knife. I want to keep that thumb. Not bad. Almost 4 stars every time. Now we're going to go find this Queen Victoria. Good, she hasn't moved too far. But due to the fact that she's outside my search zone that I've already been, I'm going to fast travel up and then catch up to her. Oh yeah. Shred, brother. The more the rolling seas, you know, this is a mild chop. This is just a nice, easy motion. When it's thunderstorming or snowstorming and you have those really high seas, it's your knife as it's going across is going to be moving up and down and left and right and shaking all over the place. The board's going to be moving, the boat's going to be moving. Problem is, nothing's moving in the right direction. So it's realistic. But you go into your fish thing, your fish information. It's going to give you what type of fish you've got, the amount of weight of the fish you have, what you've been cutting, gives you your quota, how much fish you caught. So my pollock quota is getting pretty full, but that's what I was catching earlier today, and yesterday and last night, to do some of these bar missions. Cargo, the cargo is specifically set up for your missions. Regardless of what you go to sell in the actual ports. If you have to deliver cargo to a specific person or company, it will not take it out of your overall fish. So it says 111 pounds, which means I'd be at 583 pounds. And yes, I'm using pounds instead of kilograms because, well, I'm American. Nothing against anybody who's not American, but easier for me. I think I go here to options. You can change your speed, your temperatures, and your distance to imperial, which is what we use here in the States. Or you could turn it to the metric system or nautical. I'm leaving everything nautical. I semi-understand it. I know knots and airspeed is faster than ground speed. And now my reputation just went up with Hammerfest, which means my ships are going to be a little bit cheaper. My gear might be a little cheaper. Well, the best part is, I made almost $3 grand. Anytime you want to know what you made on a job, or what fish you're going for, or what you sold them for, where you sold them, it's going to be right here in your logbook. What I've actually used. And there's your job board. But now you get this sucker turned back around. And another realism thing is, you cannot sit out here all the time at sea and never sell your fish. Because in about 2 or 3 days, they're going to start stinking. They're going to go bad, and you're going to lose your catch. I haven't been down to this port yet, so I'm going to go sell down here at this port. And this is probably my 5th restart and playthrough. Yeah, I can't fast travel because the boat's in here. Absolutely, Shred. Me and you are a lot alike. We like these simulators and racing games. We like our fantasy games and some of the other games, but we prefer to play something more realistic where we can't exactly run outside right now and go hunting, but we can always jump on Call of the Wild and go hunting. I can't afford a trip to Africa, but I could sit down at my Ps4 and my Xbox and be in Africa in 15 minutes or less. Farming, yeah, you can farm. Find somebody to help that has a farm and needs some help on it. But if you live in like New York City and you really love farming, but can only do it during the summer when you go over to your grandparents' house or out to the family farm, you can jump on a game like Farm Sim and farm year round. I get seasick. So, me going fishing out in the open ocean in real life doesn't really work. I would not be a happy camper. But I've made another, looks like 8 grand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rebait. We don't talk about that, Shred. I looked at that truck driver game. That was garbage. I'm glad I didn't buy it. I just bought all the money for my hooks, or my bait. Went from $12,000 to $345. But I'll get some of that money back. I can't afford gas. That's funny. I'm gonna go get some redfish. And I'll be close to a port, so regardless if I run low on gas or not, I can make it back to port. I also play games like Stellaris and Age of Wonders Planetfall, which those games are your real-time strategy games. For them to actually have games like that on console makes me happy. It's what I grew up playing on PC. I played Age of Empires forever on PC. And to be able to have more variety of games on console than what we had in the 80s and 90s is just mind-blowing. I mean, the PS4 alone is set up with the PlayStation VR. It's highly expensive, but you can play VR games on your home console. Which, growing up, if we wanted to do anything that had a VR style headset or whatever, we actually had to go to the local arcades. And those games were highly expensive to play. When it was a quarter to put into an arcade game, and they brought in the new VR games, where you put the headset on, or you sit in kind of like a bubble for the Top Gun flying simulator games, you paid almost $1. It was 3 times the money, or sometimes less than the time you would get playing one of the quarter machines. Yeah, the next gen consoles are going to be expensive. The price will drop 6 months to a year after they've been out. But the younger kids don't realize, I shouldn't say kids, I should say adults, and some of the younger, kids that are still in middle school, elementary school, and high school don't realize that the NES, the original Nintendo, when it first came out in 1985, was $600. Putting that $600 in today's money would mean the machine was somewhere close to, I want to say, almost $1,000 in today's money. But 35 years later, you could pick up the original NES and quite a bit of the games at yard sales and some pawn shops and stuff like that for like 20 to 50 bucks for the system, maybe 20 bucks for the system, and $5 to $10 for certain games. Sometimes you might get 5 or 10 games for $1. But there are those special games out there, like the original Final Fantasy VII. Me and Shred had the opportunity of downloading the demo yesterday, and all I want to say is, oh my god, it's beautiful. But that game on the PS1 right now, in mint condition, never been opened, still got the cellophane wrapper, is over $200. And when I bought the game originally when it came out, it was $40. But if we want to talk about inflation, in 1960s, you could buy a brand new Camaro with all the bells and whistles for like $4,500. Corvette might cost you $6,000. Today you can't buy a good set of tires and some of the options on the brand new Camaro or a brand new Corvette for $4,000 to $6,000. But that's how life has changed. So is the gaming world. Gaming world has completely changed. The arcade games we used to play as kids in the 1980s and 90s are on sale at Walmart in their electronics department. You can buy that same arcade game for a couple $100. Which back then you couldn't even think about buying one of those games. You would have told your parents, hey, I want one of those. Can we get one of those for the house? They'd have looked at you like you were stupid. So what do you think, Shred? This is a better game than the first rendition of the Deadliest Catch game? My personal opinion, it doesn't have the Discovery Channel's bells and whistles with the Bon Jovi Wanted Dead or Alive soundtrack to it. It doesn't have the names of the Alaska fishermen, but still got that same kind of feel. Graphics are better. Controls are a lot easier. I mean, mainly most of this game uses the left and right thumbsticks, and you use the D-pad just to move your menus around. The rest of the game's the X button. There we go. Now we get 15s instead of 9s. Gonna make some money on this haul. Considering I don't have enough cash to even fill my boat up right this second. But it's also like the Call of the Wild. I'm re-leveling on the PlayStation again. And a lot of times I run around broke because I'm constantly buying ammo. Which means I'm constantly killing or missing animals I'm shooting at. Well, this game, I run pretty low on money because I'm either taking long trips or I am constantly out fishing. There's a miss. Got distracted. So I went from that big percentage back down to normal. I'll take it. My boat's been in reverse the whole time. That's funny. There we go. I just got my new certification. So now I can get out there and drive another 100, another 100 kilometers, 120 kilometers. And possibly look into a bigger boat. Like the old Jaws saying, I think you're gonna need a bigger boat. Well, playing this game, I'd like to have bigger boats. It's like farming and Farm Simulator with, got a big field, but you got one of the smallest harvesters out there. I think you're gonna need a bigger harvester. Otherwise you're gonna be making 900 trips when you can do it in 3. And it doesn't matter which end of the line you actually go pick your ketchup from. You can pick it up from the front, the back. All it wants you to do is be on a buoy. But I think the way this is going, I might fill this boat up on this trip. I'm hoping to look into possibly 40-50 grand, and then I can take that 40-50 grand, make my hooks up again, keep coming out, doing it over and over again, try to get that loan up. Then I'll take the loan out on the boat, because banks like it when you come and get your loans, and start fishing bigger quotas, more fish, make more money. I'll work my way into a bigger boat. Till eventually I have every boat in the game, and every boat in the game is completely maxed out. My crew members are all maxed out. And then I'll probably start a new game and do it all over again later. Oh, that angle's garbage. Let's bring it over here to the left side. I might be able to see out the right window. Just think if you're in the back of the wheelhouse trying to fish. That ain't gonna work. In that respect, I understand the drive lines of the game, of the boat, where drive shafts got to match up and the steering line's all going to match up. But a lot of ships have their wheels and their throttle controls on the side that they're actually pulling fish from, so that they can stay looking over the side of the boat and be able to see what's coming in and what's not, and check their speeds. Yeah, I've got Train Sim World. I've got to make some more room on the hard drive to put it back on. I played it for a little bit. It's interesting. That is another game kind of like this one where there's a lot of buttons. And sometimes it takes me 45 minutes just to figure out how to get a train moving, let alone get it stopped after I've got it moving. But it's another one of those fun simulator games where you've got to get out and figure things out and do special runs. I enjoy it. It takes up a lot of hard drive space. I think it takes up 27 gigs. We're not going to film this boat because I keep missing. I actually looked in the bus simulator also. Just wondering if that's got a multiplayer or something to do with that. Well, that one's another one of those depending on cost and that kind of stuff. I've seen they've got, hold on a second. We're letting the dogs out, guys. Just give me a few minutes. I know y'all don't want to hear them barking non-stop. Yeah, but for a original PC game, this ported over pretty good to console. Just like I've watched Red play, oh no, I got distracted. That one too, because I'm sitting here watching this guy throw my fish over the side of the boat. Can I throw the captain over? I mean, you just knocked off quite a few fish. When this guy goes in, I gotta get him a breathalyzer test. Stay out of the bar, dude. Yep, boat's a-swaying. I was doing so good. Oh, there it goes again. No, 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 no. Wow, I've got a lot of chop. Now the boat's rocking. They always say when the house is rocking, don't come and knock on, but this boat is going side to side. And I'm not going up and down with the waves, I'm rolling with them sideways. Quit rocking. Damn it. Oh well. Yeah, we've got a nice pitch. And roll. I'm going back to shore. Now while this guy's on autopilot, I need to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now let's park the boat. I'm gonna drive from back here this time. Park the boat, sell my catch, see what we're bringing in, and I might be calling this a stream. Now that I got told that Bus Simulator's multiplayer, kind of got me intrigued on checking its cost and seeing how big it is on the hard drive. So I might just go pick it up. Turn all these lights off, shut the engine off. Park the old girl. 211 fish. 35, 48. I got $345. Just made 25 grand. Reset my hooks, because hooks are more important than gas. I'm gonna do a variety pack. Top the old boat off. Yeah, fix it. And I guess for right now, guys, I'm gonna call this a really successful stream. And I'm glad I could show the game off on the PS4. This is the PS4 regular, not the PS4 Pro. And I hope you either catch you on the next time, next fishing trip, out on the farm, possibly the next bus pickup. But I appreciate y'all showing up, and have a good day.